Blessings. This is an animal lover story called The Golden Retriever Who Became the Mother's Guide. So, yes, if you are an animal lover, teacher, work with animals, rescue them, then this story might warm your heart. I hope it does. I may be starting a playlist called the Animal Wisdom Storytelling. The teachings that I've experienced as a healer working with animals or working with family systems with animals, or animals just as guides for me and teaching you how they can be a guide for you. But before I begin with the story, I'm going to sing a little tune. Animal teachers, wild and kind, healing our hearts, one story at a time. Meow, ruff, ruff, moo. All types of animals, they guide our spirit everywhere we go. All right, that's my little fun tune, tuning into the animals. So, the golden retriever who became the mother's guide. I would say early on in my private trauma practice, so we're talking 15 years ago, I had a local mother hire me for private meditation energy healing sessions. She was roughly 42 years old. I'm going to call her Sally. And one day her husband got up, he went for a run, and he had a heart attack and died. This was sudden, not expected. He was healthy. And in the spiritual world, some of us might look at his chart and say, was that karmic? Was it planned? That's for her and him and the family system to heal and decide for themselves. But here is this woman. Suddenly, she's no longer just the nurturer, but she's now going to have to provide for her two sons in the next 10 years, helping to mold them as young men. Her husband owned a company, and luckily his business partner bought the company out. So she had some financial security, but she still had to learn all the bills in the house and just all those details, a lot to the list. I will say she was very blessed with a community. That community showed up every day with prepared meals for her and her two boys. And I have to say, most of the community was not her actual biological family. But they did that consistently for months to help this mother ground herself to have to navigate into new role playing. As she sat across from me, I could tell she was highly intelligent, deep, spiritual, and very open to learning. I started to obviously teach her breath work, medical meditations, put her on the energy table a few times, spoke about water. We did that dance for weeks and weeks. Things were starting to change. She was starting to not only grieve and cry, but build the confidence and also start to understand what it was going to take to focus on her boys. It was going to take a long time to heal that the love of her life was on the other side now. But one day she came in and she said, my dog, Ben, who is a golden retriever, and we love him, he is acting up at dinner time, and I can't figure it out. It's so strange. We'll sit down at the table, we'll start to eat, and Ben will just start around the room. Just don't know what he's saying. He's aggravated, he's barking, and he won't stop. And I said, interesting. What is Ben trying to tell you? What is he trying to teach you or guide you? And she's like, I don't know. Well, I said, why don't you ask Ben? So that night at the dinner table, once again, Ben is stomping energetically around the kitchen, making his noises. And she's going into that sort of program of, I'm just going to yell at him again, but she's realizing this isn't working. So let's try asking him a question. She looks him in the eyes. Ben. She's like, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to tell me something? He got quiet. The next day, he acted up again. Ben, what do you want me to know? Why are you upset at dinner time? I don't understand. She's talking. She's trying to communicate to her animal, her golden retriever. She comes in and I said, well, he stops after I start talking to him, but at dinner time, once we start eating, he acts up again, like clockwork. And I thought, okay, there's something to this. And I said, I want you, when you're asking him that question tonight, to spend some time in silence and go to, and she believed in the Holy Spirit, connect to that source and say, can you give me the message that Ben is trying to share with me? And she said, I'll try it. And so dinner time came. As she started her meal, Ben acted up again. She looks at Ben. She asks him the questions, and then she goes within. This is an important key. She's a student. She's training in new things. She's training in energy work. She's training in medical meditation. She's training in writing. She's training in going within. I'm not giving her the answers. I'm giving her the tools. What gets the answer if she's codependent on somebody talking online, or me just saying something, if she cannot get the information herself? That's what teaching is. So she's sitting there and she hears what we call a download. Now, she had been meditating for probably 6 weeks, and really consistently, because it was helping her a lot grieve, process her emotions and feelings right. And she heard the message that Ben is trying to say: you need to sit at the master's seat during dinner time. You need to step into the master role in this house now that so-and-so has passed over. And she's highly intellectual, but she was like, wow. She looks at Ben. She picks up her plate. She stands up. She moves to her husband's seat. She moves her drink. She looks at Ben at the corner of her eye. The boys are just eating. They're not really paying attention. And then she starts to eat. There's been an energetic shift in the kitchen now. There's been a psychological shift that she made for herself because she was disciplined enough to do breath work, do meditation work, have energy work done on her, right, process emotions. So what do you think happened the next day when she sat at the master's seat? Ben's in the corner chilling. Ben's good to go. She's like, wow. So she shared this with me the next week. It was a great teaching tool for myself. What happens when we step up into our own healing work? What happens when we're not just seeing an animal as an animal, but as information, as a guide, as a healer, as a messenger? But it goes deeper than that. She continues to do her work with me, And one of the things we do early on is to create a space in the house that you do self-care, self-love work for yourself. It can be in the closet, it could be in the garage, it could be in your bedroom. It's like an altar. And it's sacred for you. It's telling yourself, your higher self, that I'm willing to show up for myself. It's telling your ancestors and the people you work with on the other side that you're disciplined enough to show up for yourself, to look in the mirror, to be responsible. She's now having to move into different skill sets to learn and navigate a life with her partner on the other side. So what's interesting is there would be a specific time during the day when the kids were at school that she would do her own personal meditation, spiritual healing work. And Ben would come into her space and just watch. Unconditional love, presence, supporting her, rooting her on. She's crying. What do you think Ben's doing? Ben's putting a paw on her. It's going to be okay. I'm with you. That's what we do when we love somebody. When we love somebody, we step into their pain, not away from it. When we love somebody, we step into, how can I help you through this hardship, not judge it. If there's one thing I've learned over the years when things got really, really challenging with my health and healing, is you learn the character of the people around you. And it's not a judgment. You just learn. You learn who sets you up as a priority and who doesn't. And it's your responsibility to take note. She knew who her good friends were because they showed up. They showed up every morning with food. No asking. It's just here. I've actually never really had that, but I know that I'm worthy of it. I know I deserve it. And I look forward to experiencing it, whether it's in this life or the next. But it's something that I think is something that I've done, obviously, for a lot of people. And it's very important. It's very, very important. So in that private time scheduling, she was sharing with me how she was kind of frustrated because she wanted to talk to her husband on the other side, sort of have an understanding of some decisions to make, and she couldn't connect that channel. So I asked her, I said, why don't you use Ben as the channel, the golden retriever? And she's like, well, what do you mean? Well, he's fully aware of your partner on the other side. He's fully aware of he's a part of your family. He's dedicated to you. He shows up every day consistently in the presence of you, grieving and supporting you energetically. It's not like he's hanging out on the other side of the house. He could. You could ask him. You could sort of ask him a signaling, like bark for yes, don't bark for no. I wouldn't do it like a million questions, but every now and then when you feel called to, ask him a question, see what comes out. And she started to do this. And she started to get messages. Ben was the bridge, the unconditional love that actually opened up her intuitive, I would say, psychic abilities. So she's not codependent on me or anybody online or anybody else, which is a beautiful thing. It's deeper than that. We have a little bit more of a teaching tool coming. So as the years progress and the boys are getting older, mature, well-balanced, well-loved, she's now navigating into becoming a different role for herself, an entrepreneur, somebody who lectures and speaks on grieving. And she had a job opportunity to travel, and she didn't want to take it because even though Ben was old, she felt he had been with her the whole time through the hard times, years, and he never left her side. How could she leave his side? So she was going to put the work on hold because she wanted to do the right thing with Ben. And it's a lot of integrity and character, and I understand that. Your animals become your children. But it was soon after she was speaking this to me, I just thought, I never shared it with her. I said, I think Ben's going to become aware of this and decide his job is done. And that's exactly what happened. He gracefully fell asleep in the middle of the night. And it was perfect divine timing to allow her to accept the job and to be able to travel and step into yet another role for herself. It really warms my heart to share this. I can actually visualize both of them right now, even though it's been many, many, many years. This is the power of your cat, your dog, your bunny, your bird in your house. They're sacred. Just like when you're at the park and an animal comes by, it's sacred. And so this is what this playlist is going to be about: animal wisdom storytelling. I'm a shaman, I'm a healer, I'm a mystic, and I've experienced a lot of things. And I hope that some of the animal stories will inspire you to rescue animals, to respect animals, and that in itself will open your heart to respect Mother Earth and nature more. I want to inspire you with a playlist that exists on Heather and Ferri. I'm going to show it to you right now. Breathwork for leaders. If you're a mother or a father in a household, if you own a pet, you are a leader. And doing these 9 videos, this is a description of each video, strengthens your energy, your mind, your nervous system, which strengthens the animals in your house, their nervous system, their energy as well. I will be sharing some funny videos on what animals do when you start doing this breath work. It's pretty magical. But when you start loving yourself more, that provides loving energy in your home, that provides loving energy for your animals. These are the videos. Video 1, video 2, you'll need a notebook. Video 3, share these with your kids, share these with your the elder, the seniors. I worked in senior homes for many years with dementia and Alzheimer's. Go through this list. This one is great. This begins the work of the sacred brain programs of PTSD, OCD, childhood trauma, and ADHD. Our animals can be healers, but they also can take in the traumas you have. They can take in sickness. Sometimes when an animal's sick, it's mirroring you. So this runs deep. Anyone is capable of being their own leader in their lives and within their animals' lives. So I wanted to share this. It's free. This is something I've taught for many, many years with my private clients. It's the foundation, and it's like a university class. And do it with a friend or a family member, or do it with a pet in the room, literally, figuratively, and share. Because I would love, love to hear the magic that happens. So anything else I want to say before I finish this video? I think that's it. So I just wanted to share the golden retriever, how it became the mother's guide, helped her through leadership, grief, and the sudden loss of a loved one. And if you feel this would benefit somebody's heart right now, opening it up to healing, share it. Many blessings. And until next time, self-love.